How's it going, everyone? We're going to get started a little bit. I just gotta check my sound real quick. How's everyone doing today? How's it going, everyone? We're going to get started a little bit. I just got. All right. All right. We're going to get started a little bit. Just give me 1 second. I need to check just a few things. And on this call, you guys can ask me different questions if you have any questions regarding what I'm sharing. But this is a live call. This is not a pre-recorded call. That's the benefit of you being on this call. You can actually ask questions. I may not get to your question right away, but I will get to it eventually. All right. Fantastic. Your wish is your command. This is an audio series that I listened to a couple years ago, introduced by my own brother, that I learned a lot over the years with this one audio series, and I applied it to my own personal life. I want to share with you what I've learned and maybe something that you're interested in on your journey in personal development. Now, a lot of you're looking for this program, trying to get it for free. I want to share with you how you can get this program for free. It's very easy. If you go to my descriptions, there's going to be a link in the descriptions. You want to click on that very first link. Under that first link, you click on it, it'll take you to a sales page. From here, if you do not want to go through this whole sales page, it's perfectly fine. You can tap buy now. Tapping buy now will take you to an order page. And from here, you want to scroll down a little bit and type in the coupon code, which is YWIYC. YWIYC. You want to hit apply. Once you hit apply, you can see the coupon code has been applied. You will save $500. You want to scroll back on top, fill out the contact, billing, and payment information. It's not going to charge you anything. They just want to find people who are actually serious about this program. Now, your wish is your command. What is this program all about? Now, if you are into the law of manifestation, let me scroll down a little bit on the sales page. If you are interested in any of these authors or speakers, such as Napoleon Hill, Bob Proctor, Jim Rohn, Joe Vitale, Tony Robbins, Earl Nightingale, Joe Dispenza, Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, Les Brown, Charlie Tremendous Jones, Kevin Robert, Ed Foreman, Joe Bauer, Grant Cardone, Dennis Waitley, Marshall Silver, or Neville Goddard. This is definitely up your alley. You want to be paying attention to this audio series. Your wish is your command. Now I'll be going through this presentation and I will teach you how I use this particular set of lessons in my own personal life regarding my personal health. So my name is John, and the very first lesson is who do you listen to? Second lesson is the teachability index. The third lesson is a training balance scale. And the fourth lesson is the 4 steps to mastery, or the 4 steps to learning. So those are the 4 lessons you will be tuning into in your wish is your command. The very first lesson is who do you listen to? Who do you listen to? There's so many people you can listen to right now. You can go online, you have a lot of YouTube subscriptions, or you have a lot of email subscriptions. People are in your face all the time. Who do you listen to? Now, according to the CD set, Kevin says, listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. There are 2 parts to this. Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. This is critically important. Now, for most of my life, I've been trained to listen to all the wrong people. To share a little bit of myself, years ago, I was struggling with weight loss rebound. Weight loss rebound, what that is you're simply trying to lose weight. You're trying to get six-pack abs. You will lose a couple of pounds, but you'll gain it all back and then some. It was a very frustrating experience because it was one step forward, two steps back. Now, if you can relate to my struggle, just type it in the comments. Let me know if you also struggled with weight loss rebound in the past, or you're currently going through it yourself right now. Now, back then, many people told me if you wanted to lose weight, all you got to do is go to a 24-hour fitness, get yourself a personal trainer. I was living in San Diego, California at the time, Southern California, so I went down to the Horn Plaza. In the Horn Plaza, there was a 24-hour fitness. And as you know, these personal trainers, they're going to be pulling up. They're going to say, hey, we're going to help you lose weight. What are you trying to do? You're trying to bulk? You're trying to cut? Well, the problem that I had with those personal trainers is that many of those trainers, they were out of shape. I don't know what it was about that 24-hour fitness, but I was in better shape than some of those 24-hour fitness trainers. They had a higher body fat percentage than I did. But I've been trained to listen to all the wrong people. Many people will say, you got to just listen to them because they're the ones with the certificates. They probably went to school for this, and that's why you listen to them for their expertise. I just want you guys to reevaluate, who are you listening to? People you're listening to right now, can they really take you to the promised land? Whatever that promised land is, if you want six-pack abs for your health, if you want better finances, if you want better relationships. Many people out there be dishing out relationship advice. They've been divorced 4 to 5 times. Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Always come back to this first lesson. These lessons, they may seem very simple, oversimplified, take about 5 minutes to learn, but a lifetime to master. Now, for you to go from the picture on the left, as I did, I was overweight, I had weight loss rebound. Going from the picture on the left to the picture on the right, I had to learn from many different other health practitioners. These could be holistic practitioners, naturopathic doctors. What did I do? I had so many health problems, not just with my weight loss rebound. I also had nasal congestion. I had a lot of joint pain problems. I had restless feet syndrome. Maybe you don't even know what restless feet syndrome is all about. You can go on YouTube, just type in restless feet syndrome, and you can see how people, they have these feet, they just move on their own, like they're possessed. Yes, I said possessed. Your feet, they become possessed. You cannot control the movement of your feet when you're trying to sleep. So automatically, you are sleep deprived just from having restless feet syndrome. On top of that, I had nasal congestion, went to the doctors, and what do? They just tell you, you got to take Claritin, some type of antihistamines, and these OTC, if they stop working, go back, they may have prescription strength antihistamines that could work better for you. And now you're in that trap, right? Who are you listening to? I was taking these different medications, they did not help me, and things just get progressively worse, develop liver discomfort. When you're taking a lot of these meds, they have a lot of side effects. And the doctors, they're ready to dish you more drugs to help you with the side effects. Who are you listening to right now? And many of your family doctors, they are overweight. They are truly overweight. When you go to your doctors, what do they usually do? Tell you to do your vital signs, take your respiratory rate, your heart rate, the oxygen in your blood. And they're going to tell you that your blood test, something's off. These values are too high, too low, too high, too low. So you go back to them. How many of you go to your family doctor and say, hey doc, it is time for you to get up on that scale. Okay, we're going to measure your weight. We're going to measure your height today. Because you're going to figure out your BMI, your body mass index. If your body mass index is above a certain value, I gotta find me a new family doctor. How many of you are doing that? Many of your doctors, they cannot help you. They cannot save you. They are not healthy themselves. How are they going to take you to the promised land? Many of them are suffering with chronic diseases. I don't care if it's diabetes, hypertension, combination of both, kidney problems. The list goes on and on and on and on. Who are you listening to? Can your doctors really help you with your health? Or you need to look at a new set of people. Bring some new people, read some new books, put them on your radar screen. And maybe these naturopathic doctors, holistic doctors, they're better prepared to help you on your path. So there are many specific lessons I want you guys to pay attention to, and this is just the first one. And you have to take a hard look at people you're listening to right now and look at your own personal results. Do you have these type of results? I have six-pack abs all year around. I don't have this weight loss rebound. I don't have all these struggles, but I had to do a different set of activities or develop new habits. I had to install a new set of habits that could help me going from the picture on the left to the picture on the right. If that's something you're interested in, we can discuss more on this. But I just wanted to come on this call and take a quick look if anybody's on here. Okay, if you're on here, let me know if you have any questions. This is a live call. This is not a pre-recorded call. I'm going over some specific lessons outlined in Your Wish is Your Command by Kevin Trudeau. And you guys can get this program completely for free. Just scroll back a little bit earlier. I have very specific instructions. I also included a coupon code that you can use to get this program completely for free. And we just went through a very hard lesson because a lot of people, they listen to my audios or these live broadcasts and they drop out because it's very, very tough on them. It's very in your face. Many people, they just want to get the feel good YouTube channels. I tell them, hey, you got to do more vision boards. You got to get another astrological chart. You want to get some more crystals. You want to do more meditations. I'm not saying those things are bad. I'm just telling y'all, if you're not getting the results that you want, it's maybe because you're missing some of these lessons on your journey. Who do you listen to? Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. That's the very first lesson. The second lesson is the teachability index. The teachability index. There are two components to this. The teachability index is another way you can say, what is your coachability index? How teachable are you? How coachable are you? The very first part is, what is your willingness to learn? What is your willingness to learn? You have to give yourself a score from 0 to 10. Because oftentimes, if I were to ask people randomly, if I ask them, how teachable are you? People will respond back, yeah, I'm very teachable, I'm very coachable. What does that really mean? How do you quantify something like that? What is your willingness to learn? You got to give yourself a score from 0 to 10. And you got to give yourself a score, your willingness to accept change, also from a score of 0 to 10. I'm going to show you how you can know your score for your willingness to learn. How do you know you have willingness to learn? Think about your favorite activity right now. What is that favorite activity? For most people, they go back home, they turn on Netflix, they turn on Hulu, Amazon Prime Videos, they're watching sports, they're going to the bar, they're going out to the clubs. On the weekends, they're going to play golf with their friends, they're picking up their PlayStation. That is your willingness to, most of them, that's what they love to do. You got to set all that aside. You got to set that aside and be like, instead of doing my favorite activity, and the Hulu, the Netflix, playing golf with boys, you're going to set that time aside and you're listening to audios, you're reading books, you're attending conferences in person, you're taking online courses, you are injecting your mind with new information that can better your life in the areas of your health, wealth, or relationships. And you got to give yourself a score. How many days out of 30 days in a month are you actually doing that? Learning something, injecting new information into your mind that could better your life. If you're doing it only 10 days out of 30, that's 33%. So you can give yourself a score of 3 with your willingness to learn. Be very objective about this. If your life is not moving the direction that you want, you have to come back to these lessons and see where you're missing it. The next part is, what is your willingness to accept change? What is your willingness to accept change? It's not enough just to learn a bunch of information, attend a bunch of conferences, listen to a bunch of audios, and do nothing with it. And that's what most people do. Most people, they're willing to buy the books, buy some audios here and there, or attend some conferences. But when it comes to rubber meets the road, when they go back home, what do they do with that information? I can give you a classic example. Now, some people, they bought different programs with exercises. They bought the P90X. They got the Insanity with Shaun T. They got Body Combat, Leslie Mills. They're doing Pelotons. I don't care what it is, QVC exercise information. They got all information. But when it comes to actually doing the exercises, they're not doing the exercise. They're watching Tony Horn on DVD, but they're still sitting on their couch eating potato chips. And I'm not surprised this is part of the conversation where people usually drop out of these calls, because this is very in your face, right? If your life is not moving in the direction that you want, it's your lack of action. It's your lack and your unwillingness to accept change. You have to give yourself a score. Right now you have the information in your hand. You got Tony Horn on the DVD set, Leslie Mills, Body Combat, you got Shaun T. But your willingness to accept change is 0. You have to multiply these numbers together. Having a 10 out of 10 with your willingness to learn is great, but your willingness to accept change is 0. You multiply these two numbers, 10 multiplied by 0 is still 0. That means your teachability index is 0. You're not coachable. So I don't care if your library is full of books, full of audios, full of DVD sets of exercise. You're looking at the person is still obese, the person is still overweight, because they're not willing to accept any change in their life. So I just gone through the very first 2 lessons in your wish is your command. Once again, the very first lesson is, who do you listen to? Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Okay? So people may want to listen to Tony Horn because he's actually in shape, right? So that's why you want to do exercise with Tony Horn. And he has different ways how you can do the exercises. And he has modifications. Some people, they can't do a push-up right away, but he knows how to modify it. So people that are just getting into it, they can do it. Now, I also did P90X 4C, so I know what I'm talking about. And what I'm talking about is, there comes a time where just doing exercises is not enough. Just calorie counting is not enough, because I did that. Was very persistent, got myself some personal coaching in that area, but I was still weight loss rebounding. So I had to increase my ability to learn. There are so many things about the human body I was unaware of. For example, did you guys know about your own digestive system? Your own digestive system. And I did not know anything about this. I didn't go to medical school. I don't have any medical training whatsoever, but I still need to learn how this worked. Because the people that were trying to help me lose weight couldn't really help me. So I started to target naturopathic doctors, health practitioners, integrated medicine, and they always focus on human physiology. They told you, listen, you need to focus on your digestive system. This very long piece of pipework. So I'm coming back here to give you guys some free game. Food enters your mouth, down the esophagus into your stomach. Digestive enzymes breaking down the food, and over time, food's going to enter your small intestines next for nutrient absorption. The small intestine is extremely long. It is 4.5 meters, roughly 15 feet. followed by the large intestines, another 1.5 meters, another 5 feet in length, and out the back for elimination. What you eat through your mouth, it must exit out the back as waste elimination. I know it sounds very simple, but most people cannot get this done. Many people in the world, they're chronically constipated. I was chronically constipated, very embarrassingly. But I'm just telling y'all the path that I took. If I wanted six-pack abs, over here, I was not getting it. Doesn't matter how many sets, how many reps I was doing at the gym, I was not getting the results. Why? Because my digestive system, it was completely cluttered up with waste material. And when this waste material is building up inside of you, on the walls of your colon, they're going to putrefy. Putrefy means decay and rot. They're going to cause you a whole bunch of other health problems, pain and discomfort. I want you guys to pay attention to this because many people, they overlook how important this bodily function is. If you're eating 2 to 3 meals every single day, but you're not going to the bathroom every single day, you're chronically constipated. And that problem is just going to compound into other problems down the line. Many people, they have bad breath, or they have the worst smelling farts, or they have the worst body odor. It's because all this old poop, they've been accumulating inside this colon, and now this waste material is going to find its way to exude or ooze through the surface of your skin. If you want vibrant health, you need to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right. As I did, if I wanted to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right, I had to get rid of the waste material that was sitting inside of me. Now, you're not going to do it overnight, and it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of persistence, and the protocol that I teach may not be the right one for you. And none of this is professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician, other qualified health providers with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. If you don't fix chronic constipation, I want you to showcase some liabilities concerns way in advance. And if you don't believe me, go look up the medical texts. Some of you out there, you may develop something called a toxic megacolon. This is the colon right here. They had to extract it completely because it was full of waste material. Or you have certain parts of your colon, the doctor said that they have to be removed completely. So you may be dealing with hemicolectomies, or you may be installed with a colostomy bag, or they do another procedure. It's called ileoanal anastomosis. Now, a lot of you may not believe me. Go look it up yourself. So this particular procedure, they already remove the colon, like over here. And what they do is they use the remaining part of your small intestine and reattach it to your anus so your waste materials can still exit out the anus. That is a very, very messy situation I don't want any of you to have. But many people, they go down this path, right? Because they ignore the warning signs of chronic constipation. If you're not going to the bathroom every single day, that should be a big red flag. You need to resolve immediately with the guidance of your doctor, naturopathic doctor, integrated medicine. I don't care how you do it. You have to get it done. Diverculitis is also on the radar if you don't fix chronic constipation. Ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, or for those you're huffing and puffing on the toilet all the time, you're always squeezing, you're trying to get that waste material out, and it's not coming out, and all you see is a small little pebble. Many individuals, they're developing something called a rectal prolapse. They're dealing with anal abscesses and fistulas, or they're developing anal fissures or hemorrhoids. Coming back to these lessons, why are we talking about this? Who do you listen to? Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Who are you listening to right now? Are they helping you resolving problems at the root? Or are they just patching up temporary problems, small little problems, but they're never getting to the root? coming back to the slide, let's, for example, you don't fix chronic constipation. You are developing internal or external hemorrhoids. You go see your proctologist. The proctologist, they're going to patch up your anal fissures. They're going to patch up some of your fistulas, abscesses, prolapses, whatever. But if you're still experiencing chronic constipation on top, good luck. You're going to have to go back to your proctologist. And that's what they want. The system in the medical industrial complex, it's about maximizing lifetime customer value. They don't want you to resolve the problem at the root, so they can get money from you again and again and again, and while your body continues to deteriorate. That's how the game is played. So what game are you playing right now? You still have that full faith and confidence in your insurance in the medical industrial complex? I don't, okay? So I'm just transmitting this for those of y'all who have a lot of doubt in the medical industrial complex, as I do. But what is your willingness to learn? What is your willingness to accept change? Now that you hear the information, are you willing to read some books on human physiology? Are you willing to do some research on keyword analysis even? If you don't believe me, do some keyword analysis on constipation. How many people are keying in this keyword on a regular basis around the world? Many people are chronically constipated and they're keying in this keyword because they don't have any other solution. Now, another thing I had to look was the possibility of internal parasites. A lot of people, they also overlook this information. Many people, they have digestive problems. I don't care if it's Crohn's, diverculitis, acid reflux. They have this, that, and the third. But many people don't ever even look into the presence of internal parasites. They just assume that live in a first world country, they're the United States and Canada, being Switzerland, they're somehow immune. Parasites, they don't care. They don't care what type of passport you hold, okay? They only care about survival, replication. And if you're out here eating a lot of sushi, you like to do some sushi dates, if you like to have your steaks, very medium rare, or you're just French kissing your dogs, which a lot of you people do online now for your TikTok and Instagram videos. Parasites, your pets are full of parasites. If you don't believe me, go look at some books on veterinary parasitology. There are entire volumes of books on veterinary parasitology. If you like to travel abroad and you have no idea how to even purify the local water, you're drinking parasites and you're going to go back home and you're going to feel much worse. That's what happens. As you remain teachable, new information is going to be broadcasted on your radar screen. And it's up to you to say, hey, I'm going to remain teachable. I'm going to continue to learn. And I need to have that willingness to accept change. For me to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right, and it was through years of learning, through years of application. I did not just get this done overnight. I continued to learn not just about the digestive system, I continued to learn about parasitology, and I continued to learn about my organs one by one. For example, since 2023, I learned about how I can also eliminate gallstones out of the gallbladder and also intrahepatic stones out of the liver. I started to deep dive on this picture right here. If you have me just close my eyes or just turn off the computer, just give me a sheet of paper, I can probably draw this picture to a pretty high degree of accuracy because I've seen it so many times. The book that I read was The Amazing Liver and Gallbladder Flush by Andreas Moritz. You guys can jump to chapter 4 and chapter 5 for the exact protocol. And of course, this is not professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. I'm just saying many people, they are struggling with gallbladder health. They're struggling with liver health. It's because the liver and gallbladder is congested with gallstones. Gallstones are very, very common. In fact, it's so common, they do over 1.2 million surgeries per year. They remove the gallbladder altogether. But the gallbladder serves a very important function. It contains something called bile. And bile is very important for your whole digestive tract, for nutrient absorption, for proper digestion. And there are very safe ways to get the gallstones out of the gallbladder through the common bile duct into the duodenum. And from there, you need to find a way to flush out all the gallstones out of the duodenum. Now, a lot of you have no idea what I'm talking about. That's why you guys need to up your knowledge regarding this. Teachability index. What is your willingness to learn? The books that I just mentioned, Honduras Moritz, Liver and Gallbladder Flush. And once you read the book, how willing are you to actually go through the protocol? But not everybody can just jump into this protocol right here. I don't recommend it. You got to do this in steps, right? Not professional medical advice. You need to first study out human physiology, get the small and large intestines completely cleaned out. This is just an animated picture of your digestive system. And over time, this is not for everybody. Some of you may begin with a colon hydrotherapy or colonic. I just don't know where you are on your journey. You have to work with your doctor, naturopathic doctor, find this is right for you. And some of you, you may find my protocol very, very helpful because this is a protocol that you drink down. This is not an enema. This is not a coffee enema. This is something that you drink down. So some of y'all, you can look into this if you like in the chat. Of course, it's not for everybody. I'm just sharing with you what I've been doing since 2019. Since 2019, I've been cleaning out the small and large intestines combined using this protocol. Since 2019, I have not skipped a week. I continue to move my way up, cleaning and removing the internal parasites. Not only that, since 2023, I learned how I can eliminate or flush out gallstones out of the gallbladder. So every 2 weeks, I flush out gallstones out of the gallbladder and also intrahepatic stones from the liver. You guys need to take some time and go to your local ICU. A lot of you don't have a healthy dose of fear. You think that your insurance or the medical industrial complex is going to save you. They are not. I was just at their ER a couple months ago with a family member, and you'll learn a lot when you are at the ER. I wasn't there for me. I took somebody there. He had an emergency situation. But when you're in the ER ICU, you will find many individuals there who are suffering from chronic diseases. You will find many people with edema around the feet area, swollen feet, edema, and some of them, they may have something called weeping edema. The feet got so swollen, they split, and now there's just fluids and pus flowing out of the feet. You'll see a lot of that. You'll see many people with jaundice in the skin, in the face, in the eyes, and those are all signs of liver failure. And you'll find many people with kidney problems, renal failures. People are suffering from multiple organ failures at your local ICU. If you do not believe me, go look at it. Go take a tour and go to several hospitals in one day if you can. Because that's how you're going to develop a healthy dose of fear, begin changing your life. I had that all along growing up. I grew up with my grandfather, and his health has got progressively worse and worse and worse. I don't care how many medications he was taking. I don't care how many doctors he went to. Health just kept getting progressively worse and worse and worse until he passed away. If you want to write a different story, you need to look at, listen, maybe who I'm listening to right now, they can't take me to the promised land. These doctors, they can't even take themselves to the promised land. They're overweight. They're being held back from all these chronic diseases themselves. Maybe I gotta listen to other people. There was a time I was so aggressive about this. I went and found these people in person. Do you guys know Charlotte Gerson? The daughter of Max Gerson, the founder of the Gerson therapy. I went and met her in person. That's how aggressive you have to be if you want to recover your health. Because whatever system that you believe right now is going to help take you there, they're not. So, first lesson, who do you listen to? Teachability. Listen to people who happen where you are and where you want to be. Next lesson is the teachability index. What is your willingness to learn? I shared about the importance of you picking up many different books: human physiology, veterinary parasitology, human parasitology, and you want to pick up that liver health book by Andreas Morris, The Amazing Liver Gallbladder Flush. Do you guys have any questions for me before I move on? I'm going to take a short break. Where's everybody from? Just want to communicate, people who are on this call, you know. So today, what am I doing here? I'm just sharing what I learned from Your Wish is Your Command, this audio series that was produced by Kevin Trudeau many years ago. Now, people that went to the Mountains of Swiss Alps in their live conference, they paid $10,000 to get this information. And now Kevin's giving it out for free completely. Just go to my link in my descriptions and you guys can follow through. You know, when you click buy now, you'll be taken to an order page and the coupon code is YWIYC. Hit apply. Get this program completely for free. All right. And start listening to it. And you're not going to get through it all in one day. Everybody wants quick. Everybody wants fast results. How's that working out for you? Are you really getting the results? You know, some of these lessons I had to listen over and over again, because I was not getting it. I was like, this sounds really good, but I'm still not getting it. And as I reinforce these lessons, I have a deeper understanding of it as I'm doing these presentations live, as I'm broadcasting this information. Now I'm seeing these lessons in a different light, because this becomes a filter how to just do a beeline to success. They want to give you a whole bunch of detours. In the world today, the medical industrial complex, they want you to take a whole bunch of detours and you'll never get to the promised land. Is that what you want? Or do you want to have different results going forward? Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Very first lesson. As I told y'all before, people right now, maybe your family doctor, whoever you listen to right now, may not be the solution that you're looking for. Next, you gotta take away your favorite activities. I don't care if that's Netflix, your favorite TV shows, your favorite concerts, going to the bar, you are going to the clubs, you're a club rat on the weekends, you're setting aside all those activities and you are listening to audios, you're picking up books, you're attending conferences in person, you're taking online courses. I do this every single day. So I'm not going to tell you to do something I don't already do. And not just learning it, but are you willing to apply? Are you willing to apply? Right? Let me tell you, the reason why I don't give away my program for free is because people don't value free. That's the problem. The ingredients, they are simple. Directions, they are simple to understand. But I've given it out, my program, for free for many people. And what do they do with it? Absolutely nothing. Okay? Because this is thinking, well, this is another free PDF in my downloads folder. Why should I take it serious? Well, when you're at the ICU, okay, maybe you'll have the aha moment that most people, that's what they do. They push things off until the situation is so severe and they finally had the aha moment at the hospital. You can learn other people's aha moments. You don't have to go down the same path. So, where's everybody from? I just want to take a short break, okay? If you're seeing a lot of hundreds, that's me. I'm tapping on my phone. I want to get more people on this call. And if you want to help me on this journey, that would be great as well. So let me just ask, where are you from? Somebody's on this call. Don't be shy. You can put it in the live chat. And let me know if what I'm sharing here is making sense. And anything I can help cover that can bring more clarity, bring more insights. And you want to stick around for the next lesson. The next lesson is powerful. I'm just taking a short little break right here. All right. The next lesson, super exciting. I keep in mind understanding this lesson within the last couple of weeks to a new level. And I'm very grateful for it. But I'm sure there's always another level to go. Training balance scale. What is this all about? So think of a scale that tilts back and forth. On one side of the scale is about how you think and how you feel. What is your why? Your dreams, goals, your attitude, mental processes, your vibration, your internal motivation. On the other side of the scale are the how actions, your specific techniques, strategies, action steps, activities, physical actions. Most people in the world of personal development, they always tell you, you need to focus more on the how actions. You don't know the specific techniques. You don't know the strategies. That's why you have to come back, pick up this new book, come back to this conference, come back and get another plan. Now, according to Kevin, in your Wish is Your Command, he places so much more emphasis on this side of the training balance scale, which is how you think and how you feel. Who are you at the very core? What are your goals? What are your dreams at the very, very core? Not in your mental capacity, not just, oh, I have 5 minutes of positive mental attitude, so automatically I'm going to be successful. No, this goes much, much deeper than that. I'm sure you've seen this chart at some point. The training balance scale, that side of the scale, how you think and how you feel, is at the unconscious thinking, at the subconscious level. That's who you really are at your very core. What are your true habits and beliefs? Your true identity about yourself, your self-worth, your imagination, your self-confidence. Many people, they're doing these affirmations, but it's not working. It is not getting to the core because at the very core, they don't believe all those statements. Because inside, there's a different person within. I'm going to share with you how the dark occult or the parasitic elite, how do they program this person in you? You program the subconscious mind through repetition. What are your habits? What are your beliefs? You think that you want personal development, but why is it so hard for you to make those changes? Why is it so hard for you to make the jumps or the progress that you're looking for? Because deep inside of you, that image is not in alignment with what you want in the conscious mind. The conscious thinking, your short-term memory, logical thinking, your willpower, your decisions and analysis that only commands 5%. Maybe. Your unconscious thinking commands 95%. Not only that, this is the one that commands your automatic bodily functions. Right now, your subconscious mind is controlling your respiratory rate, your heart rate, the pH of your blood sugar, automatically. We call that homeostasis in medical texts. And it's doing a very good job, doing it to the best of its ability. Now, what's really down there are these habitual things that you've been doing for a very long time. You don't even know. Do you think you really want success? Let me talk to you about that. Many of you, you think you want success, you really don't. Why? Because for many years, they programmed you to watch these TV shows. Me personally, I watched these TV shows. There was a time, I would say middle school, high school, because English is not my first language. So I had to learn English watching these TV shows. And what do they put on TV? They put TV shows like King of the Hill. They got Homer Simpson. I'm sure many of you watch this TV show. This guy Norm on Cheers. Al Bundy, Married with Children. You got Peter, Family Guy. And even when they have these cartoons like South Park, Cartman is overweight. And you watch these TV shows day after day after day, one after the next, 30-minute shows, right? So 30 minutes with King of the Hill, another 30 with Homer Simpson, another 30 with Cheers reruns with Norm, another 30 minutes Married with Children with Al Bundy. So now you're 2 hours into it. And many people, that's what they do day in and day out, watching these TV shows. And they wonder why, when they go to the department store, they're trying to buy some clothes. They have the audacity to put on a mannequin with a dad bod. You think you want six-pack abs. You think you want to have a good physique. Your subconscious mind doesn't believe you can have six-pack abs. Because what's down there, your true habits and beliefs, your values and identity, your self-confidence and long-term memory. You identify with Hank Hill. You identify with Homer Simpson. You identify with Norm on Cheers. Norm, it sounds like normal. You're just another normal guy. You're just another regular guy. You like to go to the bar and have a beer with Norm. He's a very, very funny character. Did you know he recently passed away? Rest in peace. If you really want, take a picture of him. Take a look at his picture before he passed. Okay? Al Bundy, Married with Children. They're installing an average guy inside your subconscious mind. Al Bundy, he's not going to personal development seminars with his son Bud. And you're reinforcing him going to a job he doesn't particularly like, coming back home to an average home, and he's got a naggy wife, doesn't really respect him, children that doesn't really respect him. Same thing over here. Hank Hill, over here, goes to an average job, average home, nagging wife, kids that don't respect him. Homer Simpson, same thing. Goes to a job he doesn't like, comes back to an average home. And at the beginning of the show, what do they all do? They all rush to the sofa right in front of the television. And you do the same thing too. And that's what most of you look forward to doing when you go back home and you're like, I just want to watch TV, watch Homer Simpson because that's what makes me feel good. And he's always drinking. A lot of you young kids, you don't know. Maybe you're not even drinking in your teenage years, but when you hit 21, you have your own place. For some reason, you're going to get that case of beer from the grocery store or go to Costco, get a whole bunch. You don't know why, but that's what you do. And over the years of you drinking through your 20s, you wonder why you develop a dad bod before you hit 30. And now you're at the department store, you're looking at these photos. Their forecasting is so good. They know you're going to develop a dad bod. They know what people are buying, what size of t-shirts that people are buying throughout the years. And each year, I'm sure they're getting more orders of people are getting these X large, XX large, XXXL large, big and tall, right? Your subconscious mind does not believe you can achieve six-pack abs. That's all I'm trying to say. Your unconscious thinking, they've been installed with the habits and beliefs of these characters. Hank Hill, Homer Simpson, Norm on Cheers, Al Bundy, Peter on Family Guy, and also Cartman. Isn't it interesting that many people in personal development, they don't discuss this because they don't know how to address this. There are different ways how you can reformat your subconscious mind. If you want six-pack abs, it's not just about changing your behavior for a couple of days throughout the week, because you getting a six-pack abs feels unsafe for your subconscious mind. Pay attention to what I'm talking about. A lot of you may not believe this. You think you want six-pack abs, but your unconscious mind, the unconscious, subconscious image of yourself, is a fat person. It always goes back to that fat person. Give you a classic example. Right now it's in July. People want to be out at the beach. They want to look good. They want to get six-pack abs. So from January 1st to now, they've been working hard at the gym, doing calorie counting, and they're doing a very, very good job. And if you're in your early 20s, you probably will achieve six-pack abs. And you'll have it by July. Get your photos for Instagram. And also, you're going to get your TikTok videos right. Unfortunately, when September hits, your activity level is going to go down. And a couple weeks later, what's going to happen? You're going to be dealing with Halloween. Right before Halloween happens, you're going to be dealing with people be leaving a whole bunch of cupcakes in the office break room, pumpkin pies, whatever. And you're going to be loading up with more sugar even before Halloween parties. And a couple weeks later, after Halloween, you have Thanksgiving dinners. Many of you just rushing from one place to the next, red-eye flights, and you are going to one Thanksgiving dinner after the next. Going to start packing on those calories, packing up that weight. And before you know it, Christmas is going to be here. Christmas is going to be online. Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, I don't care. A lot of Christmas around December. And you're going to be eating and eating and eating. And you're going to be going to New Year's Eve celebration, eating and drinking more. Before you know it, you're going to get that dad bod right back. Because inside of you, you don't really want six-pack abs. What's really down there is Al Bundy, Homer Simpson, Norm on Cheers. And that's what you need to uproot. Until you can uproot that character out of your subconscious mind and reinstall it with what you want, you are not going to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right. You guys have any questions for me? Where are you guys from? So the last lesson, the training balance skill, it goes a lot deeper than just conscious thinking or having positive mental attitude for about 5 minutes before reverting back to your unconscious thinking. How do you know what's in your unconscious mind? Just sit in your car and don't talk. Don't say anything for 20 minutes. No music to distract you. What comes up in your mind? Is it disappointments of the past, imaginary arguments, or you're just thinking about food? That's who you really are. Okay? When you're sitting quiet there by yourself, what do you really think about? That's who you really are at the core. And that can be changed. That can be changed. That's what's positive about these calls. Next, we're going to talk about the 4 steps to learning, 4 steps to mastery. And we are going to go through these stages. If you choose to learn, if you remain teachable, you will be shown things and you can continue to learn. Now, let's just take riding a bicycle as an example. Many people, they don't know how to ride a bike. You don't come into the world pre-install like, oh, I know how to ride a bike. Everybody goes through this. You begin at unconscious incompetence. You don't know what you don't know. So you have your parents or your loved ones to help you get on a tricycle, or you have training wheels on. You have your hands on the handles and they teach you how to pedal. But over time, you're going to see something called conscious incompetence. You know that you don't know something. You watch the neighborhood kids, they're a couple years older than you. They're very proficient with their bike and they're doing wheelies. They are riding their bicycles without their hand on the handles. You're like, I'm just struggling here on my tricycle, but I know there's so much more I don't know. But over time, you're going to get better and better. You're going to develop conscious competence. You know that you know something about riding a bicycle. And before you know it, they're going to take off the training wheels and you're going to begin to learn how to balance on that bike. And before you know it, your kids, friends going to call you on the bike and say, hey, we're going to go to this bike. You're going to jump on your bike and you just go without thinking. You've developed the neurology of riding a bicycle that is installed in the subconscious mind. Why I'm so confident about saying that is because it's not in the conscious mind. You install how to ride a bicycle in the unconscious mind. Even if you don't ride a bicycle for many years, you go to work, you go to college, you go to work, you're driving the car, you're not riding a bicycle, but you go on a family vacation somewhere, and your family members say, hey, we want to go on this bike trail. We're going to get bike rentals. In that moment, you're not going to freak out and be like, I don't know how to ride a bicycle. You know how to ride a bicycle. You've done it so many times in the past. You know how to get back on that bike and balance right away. And that's what unconscious confidence is all about. You go through all these different stages. I don't care if it's tying your shoes, using chopsticks, driving stick shift. You go through these different areas from the place of unconscious incompetence, moving your way up to conscious incompetence, moving your way to conscious competence, moving your way to unconscious competence. Now, just because you know something doesn't mean you command a mastery over something, right? Maybe some of you know how to drive a stick shift, you know how to drive a car, but you're not racing at NASCAR. You're not a Daytona 500. You're not a Formula One driver. Or just because you know how to run, you know how to put one foot in front of the next. You're not running competitively. You're not running for the Olympics. There's always something more that you can learn in that regard, right? And that's what separates people that really want to go to the next level. Just when you think that you know something about something, you really don't, because there's always another level, right? And it could be the simplest things. Many guys out there, they don't know how to tie their shoelaces. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's the truth. Get yourself a new pair of shoes at a department store. Go to Nordstrom's, okay? And those guys and gals, they will teach you how to tie your shoes for reals. Because most people, they say, my shoes are tied, and that's it. No, there are different ways how you can tie your shoelaces. And that unlocks something to you. And you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't know I can tie my shoes this way. I didn't know I can carry my shoes this way so they can last really, really long, right? There's always another level that you can go to. So today we cover a lot of material. What did we talk about? We talked about Kevin Trudeau's Your Wish is Your Command. Who do you listen to? Listen to people who have been where you are and where you want to be. Next lesson, talked about the teachability index. What is your willingness to learn? Score 0 to 10. And what is your willingness to accept change? Also from a score 0 to 10. Next, what is the training balance scale? How you think and how you feel at a very core level, at the subconscious level, your true habits and beliefs. What's really down there? Is it just Hank Hill, Homer Simpson, Norm on Cheers, Al Bundy, Married with Children, Peter, Family Guy, or Cartman? You love Cartman. Let me tell you something a lot of people miss. They also install a way for you to have an out. Some people, they may identify with Hank Hill and they just don't care, right? But these TV shows, they give you a way out because they have a guy named Bill, and Bill is even more disgusting than Hank. And you're going to tell yourself, at least I'm not disgusting like Bill. Well, over here, same thing with Homer Simpson. Homer Simpson, many people that identify with Homer Simpson, but in the back of people's minds that at least I'm not disgusting like Barney Gumbo over here. And that's why they keep on watching the show. It's okay, stay safe, right? Stay in Springfield. So what do you guys want? you know, what do you desire for your life, right? Uh, I also want to share a program with you that's helped me out tremendously the last couple of weeks. It's only for $10, but of course, my friend, he is so generous. If you don't like this program, you can just get a return for free. This program, it teaches you how you can use ChatGPT. You can use ChatGPT to create a personalized AI coach. So you got to first define what is your future self. Your future self. How does this person speak? How does this person respond to people, events, situations, circumstances? And you can get yourself a personalized AI coach using 3 simple prompts. Now it took me a little bit longer, but I really wanted to define this future self very, very clearly. So every single day, if I need immediate clarity on my next steps, I needed that daily accountability that fits my style and give me guidance that actually sticks. Using the only mentor that gets me, that's me. This is such a powerful tool. You guys got to get this tool. Next, I also want you guys to get this other tool. A lot of you should be working with Brad for 30 days. It's going to give you daily lessons, not just about AI, but about mental frameworks, how you became extremely successful. This is the guy many people go to in the world of personal development, talking about Brian Tracy, talking about Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul, and many other people. Everybody knows Brad. This is the guy people go to when they have business problems. Period. If you're in internet marketing, this is a guy that they go to. This Brad Costanzo. So if you're interested in learning more about AI, learning about mental frameworks that make Brad extremely successful, he's always traveling, he's always on vacations, y'all. Take a look at this program. So that's what I have for y'all today. I went through a lot of information. For those of you just jumping on the call, I give you one last chance to ask me any questions. If you have any questions for me regarding these lessons, who do you listen to? Teachability Index, Training Balance Scale, 4 steps, okay? You gotta go through this again and again. You can get the CD set completely for free. Audio CD, it's all digital now. Digital downloads, put it on your MP3 player. You use the bio link. I use my link. Yeah, you can use my bio link, whatever link I have in my YouTube descriptions. And from here, you want to type in the coupon code YWIYC. Hit apply. That's how you can get this program completely for free. All right. And I'll also put this in. But I just want to reach out. Hey, listen, what questions do you have regarding the content I went over today before I close out? Before I stop this call, what questions do you have for me? By the way, Brad, he's very generous. He's going to give you any refund. If you get my program, the one about digestive health, cleaning out the small and large intestines, I'm not giving out any refunds at all. I just want to make that abundantly clear. But what questions do you have before I close down this call? Well, if you have any questions, I'm going to shut this thing down. Thanks so much for joining this call. Have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon.